Hi there. Happy Tuesday. I'm almost forgetting what day it is. So, first thing first, I'm back for the time being. You probably can feel it. Like, I just haven't been settled. Like, I've been moving a lot. Like, I just came back from out of town. My dad had surgery. I think I mentioned it to you guys there. So, he's doing well. But then in the midst of all that, I feel like it's just been busy times. Like I'm preparing to move. So you have to pack up. My boys, planning to move. It's just a busy time. So anyway, I'm going to do like a combo effect here. I'm going to go into the 2 minute tune up on the main topic of divorce that was discussed last week, and then also go into the next topic, which is going to be like a segue from divorce, but different kind of divorce. Like it'll be like divorcing your family patterns and like different generational traumas or situations that you may not have liked. But anyway, on the main topic of divorce for the 2 minute tune up, I just want to go over really quick that divorce in legal terms, of course, is the formal ending of a marriage, right? But in life terms, it's the intentional ending of any misalignment that you have in your life. So whether you are separating from a spouse, a friendship, a habit, or a mindset, divorce is not always about rejection. Sometimes it's about redirection, right? So it's about protection. It can be about choosing peace over prolonged discomfort. And that's the thing. Sometimes when we go through stuff, we suffer for a long time and we think, okay, anything worthwhile is not easy to obtain. Although that may be true, you were not meant to suffer, right? So make those decisions that are going to be about making sure that you are feeling good. You shouldn't be suffering, right? You shouldn't have like a gross misalignment going on. So anyway, so for this next topic, this is going to be like spinning off of divorce, but it's going to be about sort of divorcing your dysfunction that happened in your family, right? So healing what you've inherited, so to speak, right? So anyone that has been here on this channel before, anytime we talk about self-care, self-love, we always have to think about awareness, right? So when you are trying to divorce dysfunction in your family, the first thing that I want you to do is just be aware, right? So awareness before accusation, right? So you can't heal what you won't name, right? So not everything that you inherited was money or property. Some of it can be conflict avoidance. It could be silent treatment habits. It could also be financial fear, like if you grew up like impoverished or not knowing where your next meal came from, etc. It could be emotional suppression. It could also be like overworking to prove your worth. Some people came from families where they were like really diligent about success and what you should do, when you become like a young adult, things like that. So the goal is not blame. The goal is clarity, right? So you want to ask yourself, what did I normalize that may not be healthy, right? So that is the awareness part of it. And then the second thing is make sure that you separate love from pattern, right? So just because that's your family, you love them, we want to separate that love from the pattern. So you can love your family and still divorce their dysfunction. Yes, it is possible. This is where people get stuck. They think that breaking patterns equals being like you're betraying your family. That's not at all the case, right? It doesn't work that way. So you are not dishonoring your parents by refusing to repeat what hurt them, if that makes sense. So I'll say that again. You're not dishonoring your parents by refusing to repeat what hurt them, right? So you're just interrupting that. You're like, you know what? I don't want this for myself. I don't want this for my offspring, right? So that's number two. Be able to separate love from those patterns. Number three, also, identify survival strategies that have expired. I always say this, everything has an expiration date. Everything. Anything that we do has an expiration date. Every single thing. Hell, even we have an expiration date. You know what I mean? Everything has an expiration date. So many family patterns were just survival tools, right? So they were just passed down from one generation to the next. So silence kept someone safe. All right. Silence may not be a good thing now. Sometimes when you're silenced, that equals being complicit, right? So hyper independence prevented disappointment. You figure, hey, if I could just do this myself, I'm going to be good, 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 good. But sometimes we all need help, right? So people pleasing avoided conflict. You're not going to be able to please everyone. You're just not. It's impossible. Don't even try. Just practice on being a really good human, right? And then also think about what protected them might be limiting you, right? You are not the same as those survival strategies. Those may not work with you, right? And then you ask yourself, am I in a survival habit or a growth habit? That's very important to know. So make sure that you are able to identify strategies that may have expired for you. Ask yourself that question. Is this a survival habit or is this a growth habit? Because you always want to be growing. And a lot of people think like, oh no, I'm here. No, there's always room for growth and to be better all the time, no matter who you are. All right. And then number four, this is important, especially when you're trying to divorce dysfunction in your family. So grieve what should not have been. Right? So grieve what should not have been. So healing what you've inherited often includes mourning, right? It's mourning what you didn't receive. Everyone has different needs, right? We're not all the same. We're all unique and we have different things that we need, right? To feel loved. So this could be emotional safety. It could be affirmation. It could be healthy conflict modeling, right? It could also be financial literacy. A lot of us may not have really learned the value of a dollar or what to do with a dollar or how to make it last. Because if you think about it, and I hear this phrase tossed around a lot, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you're able to keep. So financial literacy is a big factor. So, that's something to think about, depending on what family background you came from. Like I said, everyone's family is completely unique and different. And then another point to mention is you can't skip the grief stage, right? Everyone has a point that there's something that they're in sorrow about within the family. Either it's loss, it's something there. Like I said, everyone's situation is completely unique. So grief does clear the space for intentional rebuilding. So this is your opportunity to say, I don't like this. This sort of saddens me. I want to rebuild and do something different, right? So again, grieve what should not have been. All right. And then lastly, the most important step, rewrite the script, right? So your inheritance is not your destiny. Even though that's the family that you came from, that's not who you're destined to be if it's misaligned with who you are and what you represent and what feels good. Remember what I said earlier in the 2-minute tune-up, you're not meant to suffer, right? So you get to choose new communication styles, new financial boundaries, new parenting methods, and also new emotional responses. So you don't have to give the knee-jerk response that your grandmother used to give when she was disappointed that may have been like a little bit boisterous and like, oh my God, why do we have to go there? You don't have to do the same thing. So your family gave you a draft, right? Like a rough draft. Now you are allowed to edit that. So This video is for anyone. And like I said, we all have things that we go through in our family. But if there's something that you do not like, or you're not in alignment with, you can change it. You can change it. And even in the current family that you're in, if they're refusing to like not hear it or not be a part of it, that's a decision that you have to make as well. So everything should be about taking care of yourself and then also loving yourself. So if decisions related to your family are preventing that, that's a tough choice that you have to make and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to have to do this for me because my well-being and my mental health is more important than what you have going on over there. So anyway, this has been your video on the main topic. Well, first, we did the 2-minute tune-up on the main topic of divorce from last week. And then this will be your new topic on healing from what you have inherited in your family. So sort of like a segue on divorce, but just thinking about it in like a family matters type of explanation. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday and a great rest of your week. Take care and be well.